Everyone, welcome back. Ryan the Vintage Viking here, and I have what was in those 6 boxes that I had that were waiting to be unpacked. I went ahead and unpacked them all, and I kept out kind of the ones that I liked the best, or the ones that I thought were the most valuable of kinds. So there's a little table right behind the camera, and they're all stacked up. So there's quite a few, and I'm going to try to go through them as good as possible. I kind of wish I would have unboxed them in a mystery unboxing video, but I didn't. I just went ahead and went for it because I was running out of space, and I have a shipment of like 20 more boxes coming in, and I need the room for it. So that's also why I want to clear up the table right here. So there were a couple ace doubles in there, kind of neat. So ace doubles, if you don't know, are like this side has John Baxter, and then on the other half of the book it's Lynn Carter. So there's 2 books in one, and they're printed, upside down on one side and the opposite direction on the other. So you literally flip it over and read it. So there's that one. Another ace double, Emile Pateja, and some Delaney on the other side, which is pretty cool. These are pretty good shape. Some Moorcock. The Knight of the Swords is the first book of Coram. These aren't ones that you find super regularly. Gulliver of Mars, Edwin Arnold. And there's going to be a mix of sci-fi and horror in here together. So that's a good combo of both. So Gulliver of Mars. Another Moorcock, book 6 of the Elric saga. And I did something stupid, and I flipped my phone around the wrong way to record, and I'm used to looking at that side for the camera, and it's on this side now. So throughout this video, I'll probably do this constantly and look at the wrong side of the camera, just as a heads up. Larry Niven, Steve Barnes, Achilles' Choice. I have this in hardcover already, but this isn't one I've ever seen. I've found the hardcover once and never have seen that in any other time. William Gibson, All Tomorrow's Parties. Not a Gibson I've seen out there at all. Hal Clement, Ice World. Check out that cover. It's fantastic. Arthur C. Clarke, Imperial Earth. Also not one I find very often. I have a million Clarks, but I don't find that one too often. Worlds of the Imperium. I actually got 2 of these. So the other one may be in here. I'll skip over it if it is. But there was 2 in the box. Vintage copy of The Lost World. That's really cool. Arthur Conan Doyle. Slick looking cover. When the Star Kings Die, John Jakes. That is a daw, not yellow spine daw, but oh no, sorry, that's an ace. My bad. My bad. I'm gonna grab another stack here. Okay. Another ace double, Warlords of Kor, Terry Carr, and then Robert Moore Williams, the Star Wasps. Alan Dean Foster, Slip. I've seen this one other time. I found one and sold it on Whatnot, I think. But that is one I don't come across ever. Gather Darkness, Fritz Lieber. I do have this one. I think it's in my 100 to be read pile there. There were 2 copies of this one too. Silverberg, Dying Inside. So great copy. Hyros Journey, Lannister. I have another one. There's another part to this. I can't remember the name of it, but I've sold that on eBay for like 15-20 bucks. The other copy. So I think this is a 2-part set. Heinlein, Double Star. And these are just kind of the best of the ones that were in there. Remember I found Kate Wilhelm, Where the Late Sweet Bird sang. After I'd just been looking for it, never found it before. I found 1 copy. Then the next day I found 2 copies at the store. Another copy. All right, Gene Wolfe, The Island of Dr. Death and Other Stories. I have never seen this one. Not seen that one time. That's pretty cool. Silverberg, Lord Valentine's Castle. There's 2 or 3 of these ones that I found in there. And that one's not particularly special or anything. John Campbell, The Black Star Passes. John Campbell was an influential editor. Probably, I think some people say he was the first guy to really kick off modern sci-fi and give it that boost. Back in the day, he worked hard at being a, making a living from writing sci-fi, which was pretty impressive at the time. It wasn't something that people could do very well. He wrote the short story for The Thing, Who Goes There. I just finished his book that they found called Frozen Hell. They found 45 extra pages from that short story, Who Goes There, and it's an addition to the that short where The Thing is based off of. Later, The Thing was made into a film, and Alan Dean Foster wrote the novelization of it, which is right here, and that has 2 different stories behind it. So, but the short Who Goes There was the original inspiration for that. Henry Kuttner, Destination Infinity. All that because John Campbell was the book I found. Henry Kuttner, Destination Infinity. Roger Zelazny, This Immortal. I also just read this book. This is a different cover than I've ever seen before. This is winner of a Hugo Award. Zelazny, Dream Master. That is a rare cover that I've not seen before. I'll probably be saying that quite a bit. Not super common. Pebble in the Sky. I have this one. Asimov. Andrea Norton, The Crossroads of Time. So I have a ton of Andrea Norton, and this one I did not have. So I went ahead and held on to it because I want to have all of Andrea Norton's stuff at some point. Another ace double, Margaret St. Clair, and Margaret St. Clair on the back. Cool little double. Vintage copy of iRobot, or iRobot. And I don't think I have this one, and I think I only have the Will Smith edition. So I am the literal Will Smith edition, and I probably will keep this one because I want to have a nice vintage copy. One I do not see hardly ever. I have found this one, this ace double with Jack Vance on this one on one side, but the other side wasn't the same as the one here. There's another Jack Vance, the 5 gold bands. So that one I have not seen, and that's fairly a rare one. So, and it is in good shape. So that is a killer ace double right there. Fritz Lieber, Swords Against Wizardry. So this is the 4th book of the Preferred and the Grey Mouser. I think I have books 2, 4 now, and 5. And I don't remember how many there are, but I'm pretty sure this was kind of the beginning inspiration for D&D, if I remember correctly. Someone could let me know for sure. But I'm pretty sure these books were the kind of the kickoff inspiration for the D&D books. And I don't have the full set, but I'm working on it. Delaney, The Einstein Intersection. I've seen this reviewed twice now on BookTube in the past month or so. Once by Bob's Books, as well as once by Bookpilled. And I have 2 copies of this one, but I don't have this cover. So kind of a cool cover. And I will probably keep the other one that I have and pass that one along, because I think the other one matches some of my other Delaney's, if I remember right. Heinlein, Have Spacesuit Will Travel. I just found this in hardcover, so that's the one I'm going to keep. I will pass this one along. This is supposed to be an excellent, excellent book. I have not read many Heinleins. What I've read so far is just kind of okay, but I've heard that this one is very good. So I'm looking forward to that one. I also have Starship. That was close. Starship Troopers that I need to read. End of Eternity, Isaac Asimov. I have not found this one before, and this one is in rough shape. It's got some stains all over it here, you can see, unfortunately, but still what's the word for readable? It still has readability. Okay, so if something is, you can read it because it's written well, you know, it's legible. Is there a word for still readable? Has readability? I don't know. I always want to say it, but it just doesn't sound right. It's still readable, just doesn't sound right. It doesn't have, there's some, it feels like I'm missing the word that should be there. Okay. Anyways, Journey Beyond Tomorrow, Robert Sheckley. Other than that little chip, this thing is pretty crispy. I have yet to read some Sheckley. I need to. Look at this cover. Another Sheckley, The Status Civilization. Okay, let's check that out. Look at that. That is a crazy cover. That one's cool. All right, some Sinclair Smith, Dream Date. Here we're getting into a little bit of horror here, or at least the start of it, sort of. It's a YA fiction, probably. YA thriller, yeah. I have a couple copies of this, so I'll pass that along. Science Fiction Hall of Fame, Volume 1. The greatest science fiction stories of all time. Look at that. I think I have this copy, but it's like in totally tattered shape. So I may swap this out for my, the one that I have. I don't remember. But check this out. John Campbell, Lester Del Rey, Robert Heinlein, Theodore Sturgeon, Isaac Asimov, A.E. Van Vogt, Louis Paget, Clifford Simak, Brown, Linster, Merrill, Cordwainer Smith, Bradbury, Kornbluth, Matheson, Lieber, Boucher, Blish, Clark, Bixby, Bester, Knight, Keyes, Zelazny. I mean, this is just packed full of stories. The greatest sci-fi stories of all time. That's pretty crazy. So that is a huge one. Some more Sheckley, The Status Civilization. Check this one out. I don't know anything about this. I just thought the cover was hilarious. Evangeline Walton, The Children of Lear. Introduction by Lynn Carter. But it's a big, like, massive Poseidon, hairy god, elf, nude, beach runner, ocean dweller. I mean, that's kind of funny. And it is a wraparound. So that's kind of crazy. Let's see if I can do this without splitting it. That's pretty cool. So anyways, I don't know about that one at all. I did find it awesome. This is, I think, the only hardcover. No, there's one more maybe. Awesome. Andrea Norton, the Chronicles of Witchworld. It has 3 of the Witchworld stories in it. Great. So I can maybe get rid of 3 of those books and I'll add that one along into the collection. I think some of these are some Gothics. Yeah, Del Gothic, A Walk in the Wind, and Gilbert. The Sign of the Ram, Margaret Ferguson. Classic. Mansion in the background with the light. Scared girl. Robert Bloch, Psycho 2. This thing is like perfect. It's crazy, and that's a Tor horror. My Soul to Keep, Elizabeth Davis. Another Gothic. The Changeling. And this one's a Dell fiction, so not quite the same. But it is from the Island of the Living Dead, it says. Voodoo drums beat a warning terror for an innocent woman drawn into a nightmare of death. The Hand of Cain, Martin Thomas. The Hands Were Evil on the back, it says. Looks pretty cool. The Obligation, Richard Neely. It's Occupied Japan story. Human and Inhuman Stories, Dorothy Sayre. Just need to look that one up. House of Evil, Veronica Driscoll. Witch House and Other Tales Our Settlers Told. It's old ghost story books. Unholy Trinity by Ray Russell. Look at that cover. I think I have this one already, so probably pass it along. I gotta look. Ghosts, Hauntings, and Other Possessions. These ones I just kind of pass along. These are not my style of books. Kiss of Death, Charles Birkin. I keep some just for like collection of ones that fit into a certain category for me. But the rest I usually pass along. Ira 11, Rosemary's Baby, vintage copy that I don't think I have. I don't think I have. So I swore I had, but no, I have it. I have it somewhere. I do. I remember getting it. Lord Satan Louis Bronte. Crazy that this one's in good shape. There are actually only 2 of these available on eBay for a crazy high price. The Curse of Dune, Sidney Horler. Red Wine Rapture, Margaret Worth. Rachel the Possessed, Catherine Kimbrose. And that says number 5 on it, so there must be some other Rachel somethings or parts to that. Dorothy Daniels, Hermitage Hill. Dorothy Daniels, Dark Villa. So I found the Gothic stack here. The Mayoroni Myth, Daoma Winston. Probably some valuable ones there. I just dumped everything over. The Majan, Jeff Robin. That is a charter novel. Looks pretty cool. Some Blish, Galactic Cluster. I definitely have this one already, so I'll be passing that one along. Dark Dreaming by Gene Snyder. Look at that cover. That is a Playboy Paperbacks Occult. A few Playboy paperbacks recently. M.E. Kerr, Fell Down. With the weird ventriloquist dummy on the front. Beyond the Strange. Look at that crazy cover. Moorstone by Bernard Taylor. There were seriously in this book box probably 4 or 5 times where I went and had like a shocking, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is in here moment. That's a St. Martin's Press horror. Dan Simmons, A Winter Haunting. I just read Hyperion. I've heard that The Terror is extremely good by Dan Simmons. I think there's another one that I can't think of right now, but the Hyperion series is supposed to be excellent. Terror. I don't know about the rest of his stuff, but looking forward to checking some other ones out. The Mist from Beyond, Peter Straub, Clive Barker, David Morrell, and others. So edited by Weinberg, Greenberg, and the other guy. Has Block, Bradbury, Ellison, Jose Farmer, Jackson, Madeline Langle, Fritz Lieber. Wow, and more. That's crazy. Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. Vintage copy. Open the book, read the pages, and enter the Twilight Zone if you dare. I'm going to try and move a little bit faster here. Richard Matheson, Hunted Past Reason. I have been on a Matheson kick, so I am definitely going to add this to my book list of Mathesons that I'd like to read. Shadow on Harrison High, John Ferris. That is a Ferris I have not seen before. Shirley Jackson, Hangsman, the Hangsman. Why does that sound so not right? I don't know why that sounds really weird, but it does. Okay. Shirley Jackson, Hangsman. Every time I say it, Hangsman. Novel by Owen West, who I just learned in the comments recently is Dean Koontz. So another one. I would not have guessed it was Dean Koontz, so I have a couple by Owen West now. Dean Kuntz's pseudonym. Richard Lehman, No Sanctuary. Might have this one. I do not. I do not have this one, so I'll probably add that to my Lehman's. I might have it up there actually. But Shirley Jackson, The Bird's Nest. So I have a decent amount of Shirley Jacksons now, which is kind of awesome. And check this one out. This is a freaking cool cover. Vermin. Jean Lazuta. And it's like got a raised. That is a freaking cool cover. And I kind of want to read that one right away. That's one of my favorite covers I've come across recently, I think. Prudence Foster, Blood Legacy. Check out that one. This one's a little rougher. It's got tape on the spines. Quite bowed there. That's a pretty cool one though too. All right. This is a trippy cover too. Dennis Wheatley, Star of Ill Omen. I have never heard of this. Look at that. So it just kind of deceivingly, if you just glance at that, it just looks like, oh, scary hand. But then look in the bottom corner. And then it wraps around. And then it ruins it. But that kind of looks cool. I don't know what that's about. Ardor of Aros, Andrew J. Offit. This is a fantastic cover. I actually have this one already, so I will pass this one along. Awesome cover. Looks very Frazetta. Yeah, it's a Frazetta. The Reaping, Bernard Taylor. Is this peekaboo? No. Not a peekaboo cover. Invaders from Earth, Silverberg. I actually just sold this one like 2 weeks ago and whatnot, I think. Another Round at the Spaceport. I just like this cover. I don't know anything about this. It is, oh, it's a short story collection. Okay. Cool cover. Let me see who's in it. Kornbluth, Niven, Haldeman, Lieber, Asimov, Heinlein, Asimov, Swanwick, Anderson, Betancourt, Lord Dunsany. There's quite a few in that one too. I'll add that to the list. Chill 4, Vegas, Vampire by Jory Sherman. That one's a rare one or has any value, but it looks like it is. Anthony Boucher, 9 times 9. That's pretty cool looking cover. And this is that thick, heavy, like the paperback is like way heavier than a normal paperback. So that's kind of an interesting print. Trippy Robert Bloch that I have not seen. The Cunning. Speaking of Bloch, I got this on Whatnot. So this wasn't part of the 6 books boxes, I mean, but I got this on Whatnot. Stoked for that one. Look at that raised cover. And these two came in the mail, just so you know. Awesome. Squelch and Slither. I cannot wait to read those. John Helkin. So let me put this over here because those were not part of it. Just sharing. All right. Prime Evil, Stephen King, Clive Barker, Peter Straub, Whitley Strieber, Ramsey Campbell. I think I already have this one in an older copy. A. Yvonne Vaught, 200 million AD. Masters of Horror, edited by Alden Norton. And in here, I love that there was a lot of sci-fi guys that blended over into horror as well, and vice versa. So, Bram Stoker, A. Merritt, Henry Kuttner, Ray Bradbury, Mary Shelley. So there's quite a few in that one, and it's not Frankenstein. Oh, it's the transformation. Maybe that's a short. Frankenstein was part of it first. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. The Reassembled Man, and check it out. PG-13 warning here. I don't know anything about this one. Herbert Castle. Pit and the Pendulum and Other Tales of Terror by Edgar Allan Poe, with just a cool cover. So I really like that one. I always, as I go through and I find these ones, I swap them out for mine. The Other People, Horrifying Tale of Witches Among Us, Pat Briscoe. PG-13 alert again. The Sorcerers by David St. John. And that is a Fawcett Crest. Okay. I don't know how this was ever really made. I don't know. I'm just going to show you guys, and you can talk amongst yourselves politely in the comments. Sean Costello, Captain Quad. It's literally paralyzed for life. He possessed an evil stronger than death. I was mere flesh and blood then, but now I'm divine. I feel like this could not have been made today. Pocket horror. Murder and Magic, Randall Garrett. Ace science fiction, but check out this cover. That is a crazy cover. All right. Why Not You and I? Carl Edward Wagner. This is a horror. It is a Tor horror. Richard Lehman, Darkness Tell Us. I'm pretty sure I already have this one. We're moving so fast right now. It's insane. Roger Z. Doorways in the Sand. Roger Zelazny. Doorways in the Sand. I don't know why I always mix up Zelazny and Delaney. I don't know why. Maybe it's the "-ny" at the end. Emil and the Dutchman. Joel Rosenberg. This is a fantastic cover. Look at that. It's a signet. That's a cool one. To Outrun Doomsday, Kenneth Bulmer. Old Ace. 17 Times Infinity. Droff Conklin, edited. I have a couple of those Infinity ones. I've never seen this before. This is Hardy Boys and Tom Swift. So it's a Hardy Boys crossover with, you know, Tom Swift and a vintage paperback. The Shadow. I'll have this one on Whatnot as well. I have not found this one from Andre Norton. This is Fur Magic. Another Madripoor Chronicles and another Madripoor Chronicles. So two of those. Night Eyes, Garfield Reeves Stevens. This is a Spectra science fiction. Not incredibly rare there. I don't know what this is necessarily from the publishers of Dragonlance and Forgotten Realms. But it is Naked Came the Sasquatch. John Boston. That name just I had to hang on to that one to check. The Mongol Mask, David St. John. That's a crazy cover. Yeah, it says he's a CIA super stud. Oh my. Sword and Sorcery, Quest of the Dark Lady. This has to be a rare find. Quinn Reed. That's got to be a rare one. Edgar Rice Burroughs, The Eternal Savage. I don't think I have this one. I might have The Eternal Savage, but in a different version. But I don't think I have that version. Burroughs, Wizard of Venus, and Pirate Blood. I know I have like Lost in Venus and Pirates of Venus, but I don't know if I have. I don't remember if I have that one. William Tan of Men and Monsters with a crazy cover. This is on my reading list with a different cover. I do like the other cover quite a bit, but I also like this one quite a bit. So both those covers are pretty good. John Christopher. So wrote The Little People, No Blade of Grass. I think this is also a well-known one and very rare, if I remember correctly. So I will be hanging on to that one. Some more Phantom, Curse of the Two-Headed Bull, The Assassins, The Island of the Dogs, Killer's Town, Slave Market of Mukar. So about 6 different Phantoms will be up for auction on Whatnot coming up. Marooning on a World of Monsters, Murray Leinster, The Forgotten Planet. This one actually looks pretty cool. I'll set that one aside. You might want to read that one. Piers Anthony H. Thawne. I think this is his first book, if I remember hearing about it correctly. I've not read it, but I heard it's pretty wild and crazy and was one of his ones that he spent a long time on. Michael Moorcock and the Masters of the Pit. This was written as Edward Bradbury, and it was originally titled Barbarians of Mars. And this is book 3 of the Warriors of Mars trilogy. Robert Heinlein, Citizen of the Galaxy. Not one I see very often. Cool copy of Island of Dr. Moreau. Actually just read this past month. And I have a copy that I like more personally. But Robert Laurie, Masters of the Lamp. It's an ace double. And another Robert Laurie on the back. A Harvest of Hoodwinks. Harvest of Hoodwinks. The Screaming Knife, Robert Vardaman. I actually have another copy of this. I don't think you find Vardaman too often. So, Crazy Laser Book, Aaron Wolf, Invasion. These laser books that have the big fat head on the bottom. Philip Jose Farmer, Red Orc's Rage. Not one that I see very often as well. Great cover. Neil Shapiro, Planet Without a Name. Another Arthur C. Clarke I don't see very often, Against the Fall of Night. Great cover as well. Philip Jose Farmer, Tongues of the Moon. Another one I don't see very often. Roger Zelazny, A Dark Traveling, with the weird Uncle Fester cover. I don't know much about this one. This is the other hardcover. Damini Taylor, Teacher's Pet. But it does say on the back, in the little blurbs, that it is a frightening horror, chilling suspense, domestic horror, a slyly plotted suspense thriller. So I'm not sure where this is going to fall in, but looked pretty cool. Lord Darcy Investigates Randall Garrett. Silverberg, that I don't see ever, The Face of the Waters. That's I think probably the first time I've ever seen that one. I have another copy of this. I love this cover. This cover is fantastic. Knight's Daughter by Marion Zimmer Bradley. Isn't that just an amazing cover? That is not something you see on everyday artwork nowadays. Lynn Carter, Golden Cities Far. Wilson Tucker, The Lincoln Hunters. This one just looked like it might be of some value. Kingfisher Lives by Julian Rathbone. Interesting copy of Fahrenheit 451 that I have not seen this cover before. Ray Bradbury. That's a different cover that I'm not come across yet. I do like my other cover I have better. Short science fiction tales. Introductions by editors Asimov and Cronklin, excuse me. Mr. Groff, Cronklin. 50 tales here. Asimov, Boucher, Brown, Clark, Finney, Heinlein, Kornbluth, Lieber, Sheckley, Sturgeon, Von Vaught. There's quite a few in this one as well. Enigma from Tantalus, John Brunner. So ace double here, and on the other side another Brunner, the Repairman of Cyclops. Philip Jose Farmer, Behind the Walls of Terra. Cool cover. Elsbrog de Camp, Fletcher Pratt, The Carnelian Cube. There's a lot of these in here that I want to keep. Very vintage copy of Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. For some reason, I always mix this up with Stars My Destination. I don't know why. I confuse these two books all the time. I don't, for some reason, my brain just flip-flops them constantly. I have not read Brave New World. I have read Stars My Destination. I don't know why I do that. Mary Kay Simmons, Megan. Pocket fiction. Robert Westall, In Chimera. Nice raised cover on that one. There you go. You can kind of see it. YA thriller. The Brooding House. It says Easy Eye, larger type, non-glare paper. And why they needed that big fat strip to say that, I don't know, but they did. Magnum. Flowers in the Attic, Virginia Andrews. Doesn't even say VC Andrews on there. This has got to be a reprint, I'm sure, or later printing. Yeah, 29th printing, 1988. So, I think this is one of her earlier ones, if I remember correctly, and I really was thinking I wanted to read some of that. Christopher Pike, The Star Group. That is just fiction. Christopher Pike, Monster. I have this one already, so I'll have to pass that along. Really cool. F. Paul Wilson, Reprisal. Check out that cover. This one is rarer. Cat People. I think on eBay this one goes for a decent amount. Carolyn Cooney, The Strangler. David Combs, The Intrusion. It says Avon. Oh, this is a heavy one too. This is one of those weighty, heavy paperbacks. This is not for sale, special preview edition. Novel of Terror, The Sibling by Adam Hall. And it doesn't quite have a peekaboo, but it has the cover where it flips out. It does feel like it's slightly falling apart right here, yeah, on the next page. So it is a Playboy Press and a special preview edition, which is pretty cool. And that sucker's heavy. The Long Night of the Grave, Charles Grant. Laura Possessed by Anthea Fraser. Some good ones in here. Midnight Place, Daughter of Darkness. Simon Lake, and that is a YA horror, Bantam. Some more Christopher Pike, The Midnight Club. Death's Door, this is a Dell horror by John Woolley and Ron Wolfe. Whitley Strieber, Cat Magic, and this is a Tor horror. cool cover. Heinlein, Methuselah's Children. Dan Simmons, Olympos. Big fatty boy. So this looks sci-fi fantasy to me. Yeah, sci-fi. So haven't heard of that one though. This is a fantastic cover. Check it out. Deadly Harvest by Morgan Fields. That is a cool one. That's definitely a keeper. I do not have. Lovecraft, The Lurking Fear. I do have this one already, so I will pass that one along. Cool looking book as well. Clancy Carlisle, Spore 7. I think this one says it's sci-fi. Oh, I don't remember. I don't see it there, but very cool. Keep that one. Simon Clark, Blood Crazy. This is leisure horror. Very vintage copy of H.P. Lovecraft, The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath. Definitely don't have that one. I mean, I have a big fat edition of all his writings. I have a couple of them, but I'm sure some of these are in there, but I don't have that copy. Another Lovecraft I don't have, The Lurking Fear and Other Stories. I don't have this cover, I mean. Very cool. Some A. Merritt, The Face in the Abyss, and there's some of these older covers like this that are just phenomenal from A. Merritt, and some fairly rare ones. I have another one that's fairly rare, but this cover style is so nice, and this one's got like a nice laminate on it. Beautiful. Really cool. The Screaming Skull, David Hartwell, editor. So this is Other American Ghost Stories. Great cover. I'll probably pass that one along. The Deep End, Joy Fielding. Signet. Raga 6 by Frank Loria. And that is, it says Bantam, but it says Chilling New Novel of the Occult. The Dreaming, Berkeley Horror, Robert D. Sansuki. Great cover. Second Fire, Robert Wilson. Jove Horror. The Foretelling, Carolyn Crane. Sweet Dreams, My Darling and Joseph. Pinnacle Fiction, it says. Night, Winter, and Death. Valentine Horror, Lee Hawks. I'm sure there's some crazy good ones in here. Beasts of Gore, John Norman. I have a lot of gore books. I think I already have that one. Zebra. Very cool looking cover. The Methuselah Enzyme, Fred Mustard Stewart. Another copy of Silverberg, Dying Inside. Very rare one here. Super rare. Clifford Simak, City. Not one you see very often. Probably his most famous work. Fantasy Annual 3, Terry Carr. This is one of my favorite fantasy compilation. John Wyndham, the Midwich Cuckoos. This is a well-known one as well, also, who wrote The Day of the Triffids. Probably the most famous. Lord of the Spiders, Michael Moorcock. I actually have one of these up on Whatnot right now with a different cover, but that is a fantastic cover. Cool looking copy of The Invisible Man, which I just read this past month as well. H.G. Wells. I like the one I have better, or I like this one better. Ooh, I don't know. Another vintage copy of The Invisible Man. That is a fantastic cover. I like that one a lot. That one might beat the one that I have. That's close. Philip K. Dick, Solar Lottery. Rare one you don't find too often. Another Dean Koontz, Darkness in My Soul. Found another one. Daw number 12. Fred Saberhagen, The Golden People, Ace Double. And on the other side, we have Ian Wright, Exile from Xanadu. So quite a few ace doubles. Brian Aldiss, Earthworks. I have not seen this copy before. Brian Aldiss did Hot House and some other famous ones, Nonstop, things like that. He did a lot of editing as well. But I've not seen that one. I Am the King of the Castle, Susan Hill. This is just a great cover and may have some value to it. I don't know much about this. It says it's a stunning novel of quiet horror on the back. Theodore Sturgeon, The Cosmic Rape. Not one that you find very often either. I actually have 3 different covers to this, the same thing. And I think after a certain period of time, they changed the title and stopped calling it The Cosmic Rape for obvious reasons. The Best of Murray Leinster. I have another copy of this one that's fantastic as well. This one is great also. I like both of those. The White Serpent, Tanith Lee. And that one is a Daw Fantasy. The Pritchard Mass, Gordon Dixon. Cap Kennedy, number 10. Not one I see very often in the Daws. Gordon Dixon, Soldier Ask Not. I will definitely have a Daw only show coming up on Whatnot. John Brunner, Interstellar Empire. I have quite a few Daws now. Another of Pritchard Mass, Gordon Dixon, and much better cover than that last one. Dre Prescott, number 6 and 7, Manhounds and Area of Antares, so a double compilation Daw novel. A. Von Vaught, The Beast, another Daw. Great, great cover. Look at that. Daws have some of the best covers there are. Dinosaur Beach, Keith Laumer. John Brunner, Interstellar Empire. Michael Moorcock, which I don't find in Daw very often. A Messiah at the End of Time. Put that with that other Moorcock, wherever that went. Tim Huntley, One on Me. After Me, Utopia is full up. This one's in rough shape. Thomas Burnett Swan, The Gods Abide. And I got a Jack Vance back since I left that whole bag at the library that had a bunch of Vance Daws in it. The Face, I do have this one already, but I think this is book 4. Yeah, 4th in the Demon Princess novels. I have a big omnibus edition of all 4 novels that I'm working through, so I'll probably pass that one along. Greg Bear, W3, Women in Deep Time. I have not seen a Bear cover like this. This is, it says 3 stories that have a theme in common: the female psyche multiplied and divided. So there's those. Greg Bear, Strength of Stones. So I'm not seeing these Bear covers, but kind of cool. I think I might have just set this one in here because I think I showed this one before. Michael Moorcock, The Fire Clown. I don't remember if I showed that or not, or I just put it on Instagram. Not one you see very often at all. So that is really cool. Isadora Highbloom, The Mutants Are Coming. Check out that cover. That's fantastic, huh? There's so many cool little dudes in the background there. And then he's got 3 eyes. So that sounds kind of cool. H. Rider Haggard, She and Alan. Apparently She was a very influential novel. I hadn't heard much about it. I found a copy of just She the other day. And then I found this one that has the 2. Or this one was in there that had the 2. A Timescape by Terry Bisson, World Maker. A lot of people collect those Timescape novels. The Hounds of Tyndalos by Frank Belknap Long. cool cover. It's got the Mylar wrap on it, but it's not very clean Mylar wrap. This one I thought might have some value. Mutant Chronicles Frenzy by John Allen Pierce. Price. But I don't know if this has value or not, but it looked like it was something that could potentially have some good value to it. Same with this one. Ravenloft, Lord of the Necropolis by Jean DeWeese. This one may also. Here's another of those AA Merits, or A Merit with a good cover. The Foxwoman and Other Stories, so good compilation one there. Arthur C. Clarke, The Fountains of Paradise. Supposed to be a good one. Moorcock, The Chronicles of Coram. This is the exciting sequel in the Swords trilogy. And it includes The Bull and the Spear, The Oak and the Ram, and The Sword and the Stallion. So that's a nice little compilation right there. Brother Assassin by Fred Saberhagen. There's some Saberhagens that I think are hard to come by. I have quite a few Saberhagens though. Andrea Norton, Tray of Swords. Great cover. Wrap around. Beautiful covers. Beautiful covers. And this is in excellent, excellent shape. I don't have this one in that cover. So Castle Kidnapped of Don DeChancy. Fantastic cover. Don't know anything about the book. It just looked really cool. Andrea Norton, Forerunner, and I think I have this one, but not that cover. This looked like it could have some value as well. Jarell of Jory. Two Demons Bound by Robert Barteman. This is Swords of Ramelin. I actually have two copies of that one. M.A. Foster, Preserver. Great vintage copy as well. William Peter Bradley wrote The Exorcist. This is Twinkle, 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 Killer Kane. Not really heard of that one before. Nightwing. Apparently this was a movie, or made into a movie. New film by Columbia Pictures, yeah. Looks cool. Blood-curdling fun, almost impossible to put down, it says. F. Paul Wilson, Healer. Ian Rankin, Doors Open. Fred Saberhagen, Berserker's Planet. So another Saberhagen. Damon Knight, In Deep. Usually Damon Knight's the editor. Andrea Norton, this looks like very recent print. Beast Master's Arc. And last little stack here. One of the best finds ever. Final Circle of Paradise, Arkady and Boris Strugatsky. Fantastic. That is a rare one. Stoked for that. The Disciples of Cthulhu, Lovecraft Mythos Stories by Fritz Leger, Brian Lumley, Ramsey Campbell, and more. Awesome one as well. Hayden of Ancient Opar, Philip Jose Farmer. I do have this one already, and it's in, I think, a little bit better shape, so I'll hang on to the one I have. Dying Earth by Jack Vance. Look at that. This is one of the ones where I was like, oh, no way. Same with the Arcadian Boris one. I just like, what? So excited. It is beat up a little bit, but look at that cover. Just fantastic. Willow, the illustrated version. That actually looks really cool. Greg Bear, Higuera. Empire Strikes Back, Marvel Comics version. So I have this, but not in the comics version like that. Sands of Mars, Arthur C. Clarke. I do have another copy of this one exact same, and it's in good shape as well. Renegade of Kragan, Alan Burt Akers, Dre Prescott. I have almost all the Prescotts, and I've sold almost all the Prescotts. I find those quite often for some reason. A.E. Von Vought Destination Universe with the fantastic little bug fighter cover there. And two great ones here. James Herbert, Domain. So another copy. I had Lair, Domain. I read all these Rats trilogy last month, I think it was. So Rats, Lair, Domain, and they're all great. They're all worth reading for some nice 80s casual horror. And then I couldn't believe it. Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. This awesome vintage cover copy. I've not read this yet. This is on my list. I've heard it's fantastic. And I got to read it. So that's it. We did it. I'm still looking over there, even though I did this whole video. That's it. We got it. We're done. We did it. That was all the stuff that was in those 6 boxes that I unpacked. I have 20 more of those boxes on the way. So maybe I'll actually do some unboxing this time. So I'm out of space in here. I need to get some stuff moved around and packed up and things like that. So, but thanks for hanging. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And hope you enjoyed. And I'll catch you on the next one.